Good afternoon. My name is Ryan Hill. I'm back with you again for another edition of our Black Inventors series. Today we will talk about Dr. Gladys West. Her contributions were significant in the making of the GPS global positioning system. Dr. West was born in 1930 in Dinwiddie County, Virginia. And it's so funny and ironic. My grandmother was born in Dinwiddie County, so I will talk with her tonight or tomorrow and ask her if she knows about Dr. West or her family. I'm sure she knows her family members because Dinwiddie is not that big. But she grew up in 1930 in Dinwiddie County, Virginia, on her parents' farm. They farmed tobacco there. They grew tobacco there, cotton and corn. But young Gladys did not care for farm work. She always wanted out and saw education as her ticket. She would always keep her eye on the red farmhouse, schoolhouse, across the woods. And she knew that, hey, I have to get over there and be the best student that I can. She graduated from high school in 1948 as valedictorian. Parents were saving for college, but unexpected bills, as we all know, always come up. And so the only way for her to go to college, she would have to win a scholarship or earn a scholarship. So she did just that. There were 2 scholarships given out at that time, and she was one of the students that received a full ride to Virginia State University in 1948. Once there, she majored in mathematics. She graduated in 1952 with a BS in mathematics. Then after leaving Virginia State, she taught math for a few years in public schools. She returned to Virginia State to earn a master's degree in mathematics in 1955. Dr. West eventually earned a second master's degree in public administration from the University of Oklahoma. In 2018, she earned a PhD in public administration from Virginia Tech. But after getting her master's degree in 1955, she was hired in 1956. After getting a master's degree in 1955 from Virginia State University, she was hired in 1956 at the Naval Surface Warfare Center in Dahlgren, Virginia. I often pass there going to Petersburg, going down 301 from Maryland, coming from PG County. But she was hired in 1956 at the Naval Surface Warfare Center in Dahlgren, Virginia. She was a programmer for large-scale computers, so she programmed large-scale computers. She was also project manager for data processing systems of that time used in the analysis of satellite data. So she was a project manager for data processing systems used in the analysis of satellite data. She analyzed data from satellites. She was the project manager for the CSAT radar project. CSAT was the first satellite to remotely sense oceans and monitor oceans, the tidal waves, the current of the water, that type of thing. So that was CSAT. CSAT was the first satellite to remotely sense oceans and monitor oceans. She met her husband, Ira West, in 1957 at the Naval Weapons Lab. Ira West was also a mathematician at that same Dahlgren Naval Center. They were 2 of only 4 black employees at the Dahlgren Naval Base. So only 4 employees at that time in 1957 at the Dahlgren Naval Base. Dr. West and Mr. Ira West, they have 3 kids and 7 grandchildren. Dr. West's mathematical modeling was eventually incorporated into the GPS systems that we use today. West made contributions to mathematical modeling of the shape of the Earth. So contributions to mathematical modeling of the shape of the Earth. From the mid-1970s throughout the 1980s, Dr. West programmed an IBM supercomputer to deliver complex calculations to model the shape of the Earth. So she programmed an IBM supercomputer. These early days of computers. I think computers first started using computers, I believe, in the late 50s, early 60s. Big, large scale ones. But she programmed this. She used an IBM supercomputer to deliver complex calculations to model the shape of the Earth. She employed complex algorithms, and we hear that term today all the time. Back then, she was employing complex algorithms. A lot of times, from what I was reading, her calculations were more accurate than the algorithms. Were more accurate than the computer. Her calculations were more accurate than the computers. But she employed the complex algorithms to account for the variation in gravitational, tidal, and other forces in the ocean that can distort the Earth's shape. Her data ultimately became the basis for the GPS system. So her complex algorithms to account for the variation in gravitational, tidal, and other forces that can distort the Earth's shape ultimately was much of the data that was used that became the basis for the GPS global positioning system. And of course, we know the GPS is used in almost every smartphone and mapping device today in the world. GPS technologies have changed how we explore, work, and navigate. Dr. West was inducted into the U.S. Air Force Hall of Fame in 2018 into the U.S. Air Force Hall of Fame. This is one of the Air Force Space Command's highest honors. So 2018, she was inducted into the U.S. Air Force Hall of Fame. And this is one of the Air Force Space Command's highest honors. Dr. West is a member of the AKA sorority. Dr. West's accomplishments were discovered by a sorority sister who was creating a bio for Dr. West for a sorority function. So, and later Dr. West revealed too, she did not know about the ladies in the movie Hidden Figures. She was one of the hidden figures of that time. But nobody knew, but because a sorority sister was doing a bio on her, had found out that she'd worked at Dahlgren for over 40 years and her great contributions with the Earth's shapes and algorithms and different things, and with the CSAT program on detecting ocean presence and different currencies in the ocean. She said, "Oh man, you've done some great work here, Sister West, and we've got to let the world know. We've got to let more know about it." And this is basically how the word got out, because the sorority sister was doing a bio for a sorority function, and that's how she found out that she had done so much extensive and important work at the Dahlgren Center, the Dahlgren Naval Base Center in Dahlgren, Virginia. But Dr. West says that she prefers to use a paper map over the GPS system. Even though she did so much work and was so instrumental as one of the contributors of the GPS, she says she trusts her brain above all. And like I told you before, a lot of these calculations that she configured over the years or made up over the years, she was actually more accurate several times more accurate than the computers were. So she was old school. She trusted her brain. She prefers to read a map. She says she can see where the road is leading and going. She still trusts her brain above all. So remember, when you need directions and you are in a new town, thank Dr. West and the GPS for getting you to your destination. It's amazing what we used to remember or what we used to read or used to ask directions. And people give you a landmark. Hey, go up here, make a right at the Burger King, blah, 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 and a left at the Dairy Queen. But Dr. West makes it possible now for us to touch down anywhere in the world and use that GPS and get where we need to. Whether we're overseas in Asia, whether we're in Portland, Oregon, or Vancouver, or your first time going to the Grand Canyon, Dr. West and her GPS make it possible for us to get there. So again, thank Dr. West today for us not getting lost so much, or not getting lost at all now. So thank you again. We will talk about some more little known black inventors in our next series. I think we're looking at Lewis Latimer next time. Invented the filament in the light bulb. Without that filament, the light bulb will not come on, the coils in the light bulb. So I think we'll talk about Lewis Latimer next time. But again, don't forget Dr. Gladys West. Today she lives in King George County, Virginia, and she's 91 years old. So we salute you, Dr. West. Thank you again. I'm Ryan Hill.